where we bring you cutting-edge conversation while exploring the quantum possibilities. We're so doing it tonight with one of our favorite friends, Jeni Ji, and Auggie's going to tell you a little bit about Jeni in just a minute. I want to thank you for being here, and I want to do a shout out to our friends over at the Conscious Awakening Network. We are actually streaming over there right now. You can also catch Augie's Sunday show, the paranormal show over there, and you will be able to catch my new show that's going to be starting soon. I'm not going to do spoiler alert, but it's Infinite Awakening, the Quantum Quest with Nori, and going to be about all of the things that we love, you know, health, well-being, spirituality, but it's also going to be a place where people who are just beginning to wake up can begin to understand a lot of what has been already rolled out over the past several years. So if a new person walks into a Marina Jacoby or a Paul Wallace podcast, they might go, what the heck is going on? I have no idea what this means. So I'm going to be having all of these beautiful high level guests who have, you know, very deep work, but they're going to come in and they're going to take the information and start at A and go to B and C so that the new people that are awakening can catch up. So excited for that. Be on the lookout. We're going to be starting that soon. August, please tell us about our friend and guest.
Oh, yes, yes, absolutely. We're going to have some fun today because we have a lady with us with some unusual abilities. I know because I have talked to her about that at length. And for those of you out there that like to surf while you're listening, that is her website, soulworkwithjeni.com. And there you are, soulworkwithjeni.com. And I'm going to say a couple of few things about Jeni, because Jeni Cousins is an international known television host. She's a psychic medium, a clairvoyant, and a past life akashic record reader. And she's a relationship coach, an intuitive life coach, and a Canadian TV host for 4 years. And she is on a guest on a lot of shows in many, many different places. So for the next hour, she's with us. And I would also say that for those of you that want to get a hold of Nori and me, we can just have you go to broadcastteamalpha.com and send us a message. We'll get the email and we'll get back to you. And I also, for those of you out there that is just coming on right now, we have talked Jeni into doing some mini readings in the second half of this show. So when you go and let's say you want a reading about something, um, put your question in capital letters in the chat room. That way we can catch up. I can see it. So she is also actually, oh boy, now I got an echo. Well, in that case, Jeni, welcome to the show.
Welcome,
Thank
Jeni.
you. I'm always grateful to be here with the both of you. It's always so much fun, and everything just kind of goes and flows.
It does. It does. Even because Mercury retrograde hit me. Auggie, we don't have that. We don't have echoes, right?
I can hear you okay.
Okay. All right. Perfect. So Mercury retrograde hit me and knocked my internet out, but we're here. We're pushing through, right? So Jen, can you just tell us a little bit about Mercury retrograde?
Yeah, like right now we're actually in the pre-shadow of Mercury retrograde, because the actual retrograde starts August 4th to the 27th. So sometimes it's the pre-shadow that can be worse than the actual retrograde when it comes. And one of the things that causes a lot of havoc is electronical issues, technical issues. If you're sending like an email or a message, make sure you take a look to make sure you sent it to the right person. And if you're expecting an email, make sure you look in your junk folder or your spam folder, because messages go missing, and it can cause a lot of miscommunication issues. It can cause a lot of delays with things, like especially like I try avoiding traveling during Mercury retrograde. And if you travel, let's say, to a new location during Mercury retrograde, that can like cause a lot of havoc. I learned that the hard way myself. I would lost my phone, my ID, like so many things were happening because I went to a new location. If you travel to a location you've been to, there will be issues, but not as intense as it would be if you were at, like a place where you didn't know, let's say. So it also brings people back from the past. And you know what? Like the interesting thing is we're also in the Lionsgate portal right now. Happy birthday, my fellow Lions. Right, Amelia? So the 8th of August is where it like really peaks. So it goes until the 26th. We're also in that energy now. So there's huge manifestation happening right now. It's like higher consciousness. We also have solar storms, which is causing huge weather disruptions. Like where I'm at currently here in Alberta, we've had tornadoes, we have huge wildfires where towns are burning down. The skies right now are horrific. Air quality is bad. It's earthquakes we've had, like it's really bad. It sets certain things off on Earth. So with this energy right now, it's really about expect the unexpected. And then we have the new moon coming in with conjoined with Mercury retrograde on the 4th and the 5th, which is the new moon in Leo. Now, the beauty of this new moon is it's all about having fun. Leos like to have fun if they're with the right people and such, and it's like really bringing out that fun time with you, that inner child. So there's certain passings on a new moon that can be more frequent. There can be a lot more passings during a full moon. And as I've always stated, when you get that little, what, I should call that person, or, I don't know, maybe I should go see them. It's really, really important to do that because, as we've all seen and experiencing how fragile life truly is. So I take advantage of this energy. And this is why I like on my YouTube channel, Jeni Ji Cousins, I talk about every day, what's going to happen every day to you, like with the energies. How can we utilize this energy? What days not to do this? What days to do this? So every day has a different frequency and vibration. And you have to remember, because I'm also an animal communicator, it causes effects with your animals like new moons. So if your animal, because animals are very sensitive and they pick up on your energy plus the planet plus so on, pay attention to how they're acting, because if you're flirting with different areas in your body, so are they. And there's more passings as well with our animals during the new moon. as well. I always knew when my dad was going to pass on a new moon, and he did pass on a new moon. It actually makes the transition more smoother, like without going into a lot of details. It does actually, because it's like endings, but embracing the new. So that's why new moons are more powerful than a full moon. So we have Mercury retrograde, we have the Lionsgate portal, and we also have the new moon coming for August. And that's a huge time right now. Like, so whatever you want to really work on and focus on, do that. Really, like set time out for you and work on yourself, no matter if it's with your health, if it's like you're just taking some time out for you, working on your projects or whatever it is. So it's really intense right now.
Yeah,
It is intense.
I know. So we are going to some tricky times right now, and maybe you
Yeah.
could talk a little bit about what can we do to make sure that we can have the best life we can from now on going into the future. There's certain things we probably should do, and other things we absolutely not should do. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like the most important thing, and it's all about reality, like we can have our dreams, we can set our goals, of course, like, we all do and such. However, what it really comes down to is this is what you have to ask yourself. What is stopping me? Like, what is in front of me? What is my roadblock that is stopping me from moving forward, from shifting forward, transcending forward? And this is when the truth can hurt. So there's certain people, if it's relationships, let's say, that you're like, you know what, like my person or my job or my living environment or like whatever it is, you know what I mean? Really look at the truth of things, that what this person is trying to block me from moving forward. It's like, yeah, I got all of these projects going on, let's say, and stuff like that, or you're working towards certain goals and things like that. And maybe your partner's saying, can become, let's say, a lot more controlling, for instance. You can't do that. You can't put your photo up on social media. You can't, whatever. Really take a look at the balance there. Are you living your life the way that resonates for you? You know what I mean? And there's different family traditions and cultures, of course. I completely respect that. However, if you're struggling and you're like, and I believe me, I talk to people all day long, and like, you know what? I don't want to live with these traditions anymore. I don't want to live with these, like cultures, whatever it is, right? This is all connected with your past life akashic records. This is all connected for part of your soul's footprints of you walking away, living your life, being more authentic no matter what. So there's certain questions that you really have to ask yourself. What is blocking you? Are you scared? What are you scared of? And you have to start believing in yourself. Don't look so much at the fear with things, because when you start to go into fears, instant roadblocks right in front of you at that very second. It's more important to take a look at what and how can I resolve this situation. And that's why sometimes we have to retweak our goals. It's like we can have our small goals, we can have like our longer goals. I'm working on two huge major goals myself right now. And it's like, okay, that's not going to take a night. That's not going to take a week or a month. You have to look at reality and say, okay, what do I want to implement? What do I need to do? What research do I need to do to really make the changes? Because if you don't start making changes, you will not see any change. If you start making excuses, well, I can't do this because of all these other reasons, You're delaying your destiny, you're delaying your soul's purpose because you are the one that can make that change. Well, this isn't working for me. Get rid of it. This isn't working for me. Change it. And some people are not ready, of course, to make change. You know, we all have our own journey, and you cannot judge anybody for what direction they want to go towards, you know, whatever it is, you know, because that's bad. You can support them, you know what, like, I support you with what you want to do, and but Jeni, what if I screw up? Like, you know, what if I, what if is that keyword. So this is when you have to take that time out. Like I, my phone, my ring or my volume is on mute all the time. I never turn my volume on anymore because I get slammed with so many messages, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Why would you send me that message like that? You know what I mean? So it's like I gotta, you know, I've got projects I have to work on. I have my goals I have to work on. I have my clients, like whatever it is. And the only way I'm going to see any results is to set boundaries. You can get back to people. I always get back to people. However, I take a look at the message and I says, is that important? Is that a priority? My clients are my priority. So, you know, of course, I'm going to book the appointments and certain things like that. I get people emailing me, what do you see? What do you see? You can book a reading with me. There's my website. I'm 100% self-employed. It's just myself, right? So when you allow other people to take you for granted and use and abuse you, it's going to continue. It's like if you're in a toxic relationship, you know what, my person is just treating me like this, whatever it is, this is where I first mentioned what are your roadblocks? What is stopping you? It very well could be somebody belittling you. It very well could be somebody, you know, trying to drag you down to their level because they don't want to see you succeed. They like you where you're at. So this is when you have to take charge and say, you know what? I got to start looking at reality now. It's the reality. And once you start doing that and start visualizing what direction you want to go, this is when the manifesting starts opening up for you. But Jeni, it should have happened. Don't worry about that. But sometimes, yes, we get like a certain roadblock where we're like, okay, how do I resolve this problem? Not, oh my God, how do I resolve that situation? I'm not going to stay in the modality of fear. I will not have anybody throw their fears at me to stop me. You know, we all are struggling. We all have situations and issues that we are dealing with. Every single person on this planet. It doesn't matter who you are. So this is your time. This is the universal 8 year and the year of the dragon. So the manifesting is really high, and this is a year about you, more about you. You know, of course, you know, there's family and you know, children and our spouse and our work and whoever. Life is a balance. But if you don't take time for you, nothing is going to happen. So but you know what I mean? Like no matter what's going on, there's so much negative energy and entities on the earth.
Yeah.
You still have to live your life.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. And so often, you know, because our nervous systems are so dysregulated because of the constant onslaught of, you know, bad news and crazy energy, that instead of going inward, you know, and taking care of ourselves and returning to a peaceful state and begin to create from there, we tend to do, right? And just stay busy, stay busy. I don't want to think, you know?
Yeah.
And then you miss it, you know, you just totally miss it.
Yeah. You run. That somebody running. You know, it's like a runaway healer. when they don't want to deal with their own problems, so they try to run away and help everybody else.
Right.
And then all of a sudden they're going to be like, okay, why isn't my life going the way I want it to? This is why it's really important to sit back, because we all get triggered. We all get triggered with something from other lifetimes, from traumatic events and such like that. And whenever you get triggered, it's that opportunity at that second to acknowledge what's triggering you with that pain, visualize that as the past, what you've learned from it. Start looking at your future, because as you're healing, you're taking your power back.
Yeah. Absolutely. I love that. I love that. I love that. Aage, are there any requests for mini readings for Jeni in the chat room? Can you see it?
I was just in there looking right now, and don't see any questions because it's not really the second half yet, but I don't see any
Okay. All
questions.
right.
But I also see that there's something new here. It says you have to sign in to chat. I've never seen that before.
I've never seen that either.
That
Free
is,
Mercury
I don't know.
retrograde.
Yeah, there you go. There you and Jeni, here's a classic Mercury retrograde.
yeah.
I was on a phone call. I was on a phone call with my doctor, and I swear I thought I heard him say, "You need to go get this kind of referral." And I worried about it. I worried about it for like 2 weeks. And then when I finally went to see him, I said, "Did you go get this referral?" He said no. But I swear to God, I thought I heard him say it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
And
crazy.
no, I know, and also too, just as you said that, really, really pay attention to what dreams you're having when you go to sleep. And because as you're waking up, you're still in that alpha. You're still kind of in that spirit world and all of that energy, especially when there is some significant dream. If maybe it was one of your loved ones who's passed, or a pet, or a guide, or you're just being shown something that you're like, I don't know. Write it down, because there's a lot of messages in that. Like, I just had a dream, like when my dad came in, and I'm like, what was that about? And then so I started writing it down when I woke up right away. Even, I turned the coffee on first of all, first, right? I always have notepads like around, right? So I started writing down what he was saying, and I'm like, oh, that perfect sense. That's exactly right. So it's really important. And then you can start putting, like, I'm really good with dreams. I'm really good with dreams. I get people, as in reading, Jeni, I had this dream, like, so I'm really good with messages coming through, and what the significance of it is for you. And also, by the way, with this Mercury retrograde, now, the worst time for any new relationships is during Mercury retrograde. Yeah, but Jeni, I had like somebody from my past come back, and oh my gosh. And that can be great and all. However, the worst time to start a relationship is the Mercury retrograde, because there's more challenges, and it can end things just as quick because the communication can be off.
Mm.
So
I got just a quick comment here. We're starting to get questions in the chat room, and please use capital letters. Otherwise, I may miss your question because the writing is so small.
Talking about dreams, Jeni, I've been having. I went for a long time. Years without really remembering my dreams. And lately, I wake up at 4 a.m. and I do my spiritual work. I do my energy work. I have some lemon water, Then I go back to sleep, and between 5 and 8 a.m., I am having a whole lifetime of dreams during those 3 hours. It's incredible. Incredible. I need to write them down.
Yeah, no, you need to write them down because, there's a lot of ancestral healing going on right now with the Chiron energy. It's till, end of December. So it's bringing up certain things that need to be healed as well. And also too, that's your godmother coming in and opening you up more, Nori.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
He told me he was going to do that.
Yes, there's your confirmation right there, right? So that's what's happening, and it's a real blessing as well. And so expect your dreams like of all times, right now to get more intense. To get, I have dreams. A lot of my dogs coming in, of course, too, right? I talk to my dogs every day, but it's still painful, of course, because you're not physically holding them and stuff, right? But you can ask, like my Irish Wolfhound, McTavish, was 200 pounds, and like whenever I'd hug him, it felt like a human because he was like over 7 feet tall on the back of his legs and his back. When he was on all four legs, his back came up right, almost to my breast. And, so he really felt like that human being. So like, if I just need a hug from somebody, I need a hug from somebody. I miss those hugs from McTavish. And he came in one of my dreams 3 times in the same night, and he hugged me. Like it's like he put his head, which is like a huge boulder, like it's like, and he put it on my chest, which he normally do, right? And it's like, so you just literally, it's like getting a bear hug from somebody, like if it's a friend or family or whoever. And when we get a hug, it's like, how are you? Wish you best or whatever. A hug. However, when you get those special bear hugs, that energy goes like right through you, right?
So sweet. I love it. I love it.
Yes.
So it's interesting because you were talking about people coming back into your life. I have Pixie's leash hanging in the kitchen. She's wagging her tail. She knows I'm talking about her. And I have one of the doggy bags tied to the end of it. So it hangs close to the floor. And every time I'm in the kitchen, when I catch it in my peripheral vision, it looks like my previous dog, Woody. I mean, I'm like, look, are you here?
Yes.
Right? Really?
Yes. Pay attention to that. Like, pay attention to that because, our dogs that have passed, of course, they're still very much with our present dogs because when our present dogs pass, they go also to them, and like even the other day, I was writing something in it, and my friend Linda, she was a really dear friend of mine. She's also an animal communicator, and she was literally sitting there on my sofa, and I started, I was in tears right away because I miss her, and then, and I'm like, are you with Bella? Right. And then, like we started communicating and everything like that. So your animals or your loved ones, of course, they will start appearing and just they're appearing for a reason as well. Right. So they're letting you know as well, that they're there, like they're there. So when our loved ones pass, they're also letting you know I'm acknowledging, you know, this person or your animal, and they get more visible, as I call it, to you. It's literally, like I see Bella run past me a lot of different times myself,
Oh,
right? And it's
so
just,
glad.
oh my gosh, and that, there's so many signs we get from the people that have passed and also our animals.
Yeah.
So pay attention to the leash.
I am. And of course, Facebook is bringing up his old pictures So it's
Yeah.
very synchronistic. Yeah, very synchronistic. I will be much more aware of that.
Yeah, it's hard because I get memories constantly on Facebook of Bella constantly coming up,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and it's hard to see that and then watch a video and stuff, and it
Yeah.
really is like it really is, and it's not the same, right? As any animal lover out there, you miss them, and you know and even with Bella, the only thing that brings me any kind of peace is knowing she's not suffering. That's it. That is the only thing. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Nothing else. That's it.
Understood.
Due to my
Yeah.
experience, what happened, right?
Yeah. Aw.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
I see we're down at the bottom of the hour here. So for those of you that joined us late, we are talking with Jeni Ji, our favorite, one of our favorite guests, and she is going to
Absolutely.
do, yeah, she's going to do some mini readings for people in the second hour. So if you like to, please put your questions in the chat room in capital letters. And Jenny, what do you need from them?
I
Name
just need to know, yeah, just only a first name, like like their first name only. Like what zodiac sign are they? Are they like, Virgo, Leo, Sagittarius, Libra, like that kind of thing? And a question, and a specific question. Don't ask me what's coming up for me. Don't ask me, what do you see? Ask me a specific question so your question will get answered.
I see
Understood.
there's questions here. There's one, she didn't give us a zodiac sign, but she said, this is Diane. She says, I would love to know where to move to.
We're okay, like to a city or to a different country or neighborhood or what? So this
I
is
think,
what I mean. Like this is what I mean.
Yeah.
You got to be very specific with the question. Like, you know what I mean? Like as soon as she said that, I
Yeah.
heard south. I just kept on hearing south right away. But this is why you have to be very specific because you might not get your question fully answered. You can always book a reading with me, soulwork@jeni.com, to get very detailed reading, of course.
yeah.
But with here, this is what happens, right?
Yeah.
But I've heard
Yeah.
stuff.
So Diane,
Mhm.
Diane, maybe you could just drop your astrological sign in the chat and be specific if it's
Be specific.
Yeah, Diane is she's Pisces,
great.
and she also says what state and or city.
What state? Well, I heard south, right? Like as soon as you start talking, whenever you first heard that, I heard south right away, right? So wherever you are now, I'm hearing to move south from there. What state or city will depend on you. However, um, because you're very empathic, and I'm also hearing that I'm not going to go into lots of details because there's so much more I could say to you, actually. There's certain energies around you that you do need to let go of, by the way. There's many reasons for that because there are roadblocks for you with certain energies around you. So I would take a look at moving more south and even being around you could get a lot more grounded by like being around like more mountains and such like that. You would feel comfortable being around, like the water, right? Like Pisces, of course, very empathic, very intuitive, right? Being by the water. But I'm literally hearing for you, you got to be a lot more grounded with things. So,
Good information.
so wherever you are, I'm not hearing specifically what state. No.
Yeah, there's another question
great.
from Paula. Paula, she does not show a sign, but question, why am I this is a good one because I got the same thing. Question, why am I waking up seeing 12:12, 2:22, and 3:33 all the time?
Yeah, this is exactly why it's important to write down when you're waking up what you're seeing, like seeing those signs. You know, that's signs from your loved ones, from your angelic team, your guides and angels and such like that. You know, like 333 is like ascended master. You know, you very well could have had like, you know, in your dream, because even when we dream and sometimes when we don't remember, it's because we're visiting our loved ones and animals and guides on the other side. So these specific numbers, especially when you're seeing specific numbers, pay attention to that, you know, throughout the day, right? Like no matter where you are, when you see those numbers, the first thing you need to do is when you see those numbers, doesn't matter what you're doing or who you're with, is to immediately look at what you're thinking. Where's your thoughts at that exact moment? Because that's an indication for you. Like if you were like having that kind of because I know your energy goes up and down. You hold a lot of emotions within, deep, deep within. You have a really huge heart. You're very sensitive as well. You care a lot about people. However, what's really kind of concerning me a little bit is stop people pleasing. So whenever you're seeing these numbers, really pay attention, as I mentioned, to where you're at, who you're with, where your thoughts are, right? You know, there's somebody else that is around you that I'm not liking very much, to be honest with you. However, of course, I'm not going to say that here, right? You know, you can always book a reading and I'd give you a lot more details. But I just have some concerns with with your well-being with that, to be honest, without kind of going on with that.
Good, very good, very good reading.
Yeah, I also see.
Any others, Aage?
Yeah, there's others here, and we have one from Venus Astara, and I hope that is actually her name. Hey, I says, hi Jenny, do you see me moving to a new home soon?
I do see you moving. What I keep on hearing is don't push it right now. Um, don't don't be moving this summertime is what I'm hearing very loudly. I do see you moving. You have to be more specific where you want to go, and take a look at what you really want. That you very well could find that there could be someone even like you know, like maybe like a girlfriend or a friend or something that you know, might say, you know, I'm thinking of getting a place to move to. You know, some people, you know, can be roommates, they're okay with that, you know, but you're gonna hear something. I hear October right away. Like I just heard October coming in more promptly. So this is why it's like not to rush into anything right now, because there's like this new kind of a doorway that is going to open up for you. You got so much talent too, by the way, a lot of talent that you're not bringing out more. You know, like we all have, you know, different abilities and talents and to bring to the world and you know showcase who you are. That's why it's so important to be authentic. You have to be authentic. When you try to be somebody you're not, it won't work because the vibrational frequency won't keep you there.
Yep.
It'll scatter you and throw you out in a different path. So when you follow what resonates for you, you will find your soul's calling.
Absolutely.
That's
And
great. That's great.
there's another one from Linda. She is Aquarius. And she says, I just had an extremely close call with a semi truck on the road here. How did the truck manage to miss me, and who helped me?
Well, you're being shown to start paying attention more, right? Like that truck, because things happen for a reason. That truck, so really take a look back on what you've been going through. I know you've been going through a lot right now. So really take a look at what you have been going through, because that is like your guide, like our spirit guides, our loved ones, even our animals can, hold us back from getting into a really bad accident or into a dangerous situation. However, they're doing that to tell you to pay attention with details, pay attention to your life around you right now. You're very intuitive as it is as well. Very, very intuitive. And you got to start listening to that more. And you have to ground yourself even more as well, because I'm kind of feeling this kind of walking kind of like unbalanced a little bit. So there's different ways to, of course, get rebalancing, grounded and such like that. So really pay attention. That's like a pre-warning sign, and also a sign to tell you that to have hope, to have faith that you are being watched, you are being protected. But we can't like expect that, right? We can't go, jumping off a cliff and thinking, well, my guides are going to catch me, right? Well, your guides very well might catch you because you might not make it. So of course you're going to be with your guides, right? But you know what I'm saying? It's the logic in everything. So time to slow down.
Good.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. I got another one here, and that is from Sherry.
Sherry?
Sherry, she didn't give a sign, but she says, will Texas be a good place to move for me about my marriage? What do you see?
To move to tech. Okay, so she's married. Okay, hang on here. If you went to Texas, because you hold that like that shamanic energy is like, right? You're very, very also, you are also very intuitive, by the way. So if you go to Texas, like, I'm literally seeing you even putting something together. You're gonna get more involved even into meeting some more spiritual people. And I keep on hearing that where you go, being more like, on the countryside rather than being like in the city for you, you would feel much better. So with your marriage, I don't know if you're getting married there. If you're married, I didn't get that part. But yeah.
Yeah.
The drumming, I just heard actually for some reason drumming with her as well. Right?
Yeah.
Drumming.
There's an open end in that question, and that is, what about the marriage? But that's more private. So
yeah, that's very private. Yeah, there's a lot of issues that
I would highly recommend that you get to Jeni Ji's website and book a reading, because then you get what Paul Harvey would said, the rest of the story.
Yeah, the full story.
Yeah.
The inside and the outside.
All right. Here's another question, and that is, there's 3 first names. How do you do that? I thought there was only one that is the actual first name. Okay. Princess Mary Magdalene, she's an Aquarius. She wants to get out of Sacramento heat. Where is a good place for me to move?
I would, yes, definitely. Go on.
Yeah.
I automatically heard something, but continue. Sorry.
Yeah, and there's more to the question. And also, and how to help my elderly mother and disabled sibling while also clearing my family. No, caring for my family.
Caring for your family, right? I
Yeah,
mean, you know, that's the thing, like, you're very empathic, you're picking up on so many different energies right now with so many different things. You're very, very overwhelmed where you're at. Where you are is definitely not where you should be. I'm literally seeing you like in more of a smaller community. Um, you know, like as far as taking care, that's that caretaker in you, that love, of course. You know, our loved ones get older, you know, so we want to take care of them a lot more. But I definitely hear that leaving where you are, you will feel 1,000% better. And even being a little bit out more by the water area, you might actually feel a lot more grounded. However, that very well could also make you feel very nervous all at the same time. I see you, you know, moving into something. Keep your, uh, you know, like your options open. Keep your heart open and such like that, because there's going to be an area where you never even thought of. You never thought of. Like if I was looking for, you have your mind on one specific thing, right? I get that. However, certain times it's like I have an open mind rather than I'm only fixated on that one location, because maybe spirit wants you to go to a different location where you can take care of your loved ones and be closer to them in an area that you're like, actually, this will work. So that's what I'm hearing more for you, but I'm also hearing that you got to be careful that you don't drain yourself.
yeah. I see Nori fell off the conversation. She got cut
Mercury
off.
retrograde, like pre-Mercury retrograde. Like you know, I tell you, she's back
Ah,
on.
welcome back.
I went time traveling, sorry.
Yeah,
See, there you go. She's paying attention to her dreams.
we want to hear about your time travel in the next show.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
exactly.
All right. I think there was another one here. So let's see. Yeah, there's one here, but there's no name. Well,
Do you see the one that I put in, Augie? I recopied Mary Pat.
yeah. Oh, okay. All right. This is from you. Mary Pat, my boyfriend is having surgery on his heart in August. Will all be successful? I am a Pisces. That's for Mary. Mary
Yeah.
Pat.
It depends what date, honestly. Um, but I am hearing things will be repaired. However, I'm hearing that, you know, after the surgery and everything like that, there might he might need to go back in for something different that's connected with that. So it's really, really, because it's almost like something's too tight. Something's too tight, you know. Um, so yeah, so to be really honest, I would place that in God's hands and you know, like do some prayers and such like that. But the heart surgery, there'll be something else. There'll be something else connected with that. So, you know, he might have the surgery, but he might have to go in again for something that's all wrapped up with that. So, you know, hold the faith. This is when, you know, I would be like, you know, I'm calling upon my angels. I don't want to freak you out or anything, right? But it's like, you know, call upon the angels and everything like that to be there with him and surrender it and everything, right?
Yeah. Okay. There is one here, and I think the name is Io. And it says, I am a Gemini and a Virgo moon
Gemini.
and rising. I've wanted to move to another state for about 35 years, but there's always
Right.
something that's been an obstacle. Am I ever going to be able to relocate? And if so, when?
Yeah. Okay. So the first thing that you need to do is, our roadblocks are for reasons, right? If this is where you have to ask yourself, okay, where specifically, number one, do I want to go? Have you done your research on that state with the cost of living and so on, areas, neighborhoods, work, all of that kind of stuff? Where are you really drawn to go? Because you have to first set these goals and be like, you know what, I know where I want to go. And then it's like, okay, implementing these plans to make it happen, right? If you're uncertain to where do I want to go, start writing down. Do you want to be by the mountains? Do you want to be by the desert? Do you want to be by the water? Do like all of those kinds of things? And then start doing research with that. I keep on here, like roadblocks are for reasons as well. Spirit holds you back to try to protect you from moving to certain places that could be like dangerous for you, let's say, for whatever reason, or not the right place. However, I keep on hearing that you got to really make a plan and say, I'm moving to this state. I've looked and done research in these areas. This is where I want to move to, and this is how I'm going to financially support myself. You got to be very, very, very specific. Like I've manifested to moving where I'm at out of my province many times. I've had places that welcome and accept me, but then I hold back. Where if I stay here, it's not going to work because I get turned down all the time, right? So you have to be very specific. And then it's like, I can't move to BC myself. There's no doctors out there on the island. There's no doctors out in British Columbia. So that's why I haven't gone. It's looking at reality, not the fantasy and the illusion, it's reality. So there's a lot more involved with all of this. So this is when you have to say what's stopping me from my roadblocks. Fear, you set goals, make it happen.
Okay, I got a couple of questions. Yeah, a couple of questions left. I don't know what you're going to do with this one. Susan says, hi, will my grandson get a job soon?
Aw.
When he's ready.
Yeah.
Bottom line, when he's ready. I mean, there's always a job somewhere, right? Like you can go to 7-Eleven, you can go to Walmart. And I mean, I'm not saying to do that, but if somebody really, really wants to find a job just to get a job to get going, they can, right? If somebody has a specific job to be a scientist, let's say, that's a little bit more complicated, right? So, it's like when he's ready, he's actually taking advantage of a lot of different things he's comfortable, to be very honest. There's a lot more involved with that, by the way, that I'm not going to say. However, you already intuitively know.
Yeah, chances are he needs a little encouragement too.
Yes, absolutely. Positive reinforcement, positive reinforcement. It's getting that taste of independence. You want to buy a car? I'm not going to buy you a car. You want to buy a car? You got to take a job and learn how to budget your money and what you want to do in life and so on, right?
Yeah, and you pay. Hey, son, you're going to pay half the groceries now.
Yes, exactly.
All right, got another one for you. We're getting close to the end here. Constant says, I would like to know if I will meet a new love soon.
I just honestly with that, I'm feeling like you have to let go of previous like baggage, to be blunt, like previous, examine and reflect back on your last relationships. Really see what you truly, truly learned from that first. Have you healed from that? What did you truly learn from that? What qualities are you looking for in a partner. This is really important, first of all. And when you know this, right, you very well could, somebody's not far from you, really. You very well could meet somebody else this year, to be honest here, but I'm honestly, to be very blunt, I'm seeing somebody more grounded, somebody more for you next year, more than so this year. So start writing down what qualities you want and be very detailed and specific. And don't rush into anything, right? Like whatever you do, so many people, they rush, 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 rush. It doesn't work.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't.
Just one quick one. That's about all we got time for left. And Angie says, I am a Pisces. Will I go forward with my gifts and health?
Yes, you will. I'm literally seeing, like, I'm seeing a cross, right? So whenever I see like a cross, it does represent health and wellness and all of that. I'm literally seeing studying more. I don't know if you've studied now or anything like that, but I am hearing that you're going to be studying a lot more. And you really, again, got to be very specific and say, okay, what area do I want to gravitate towards? What am I truly passionate about doing? And it comes down to one step at a time. It's like, reading one page of a book, let's say. You can learn different things. You could read a paragraph and say, oh geez, that area right there, maybe I want to move in and learn more about that. So you have to know what direction you want to go towards. But yeah, you have a lot of gifts and abilities. I'm literally seeing you one-on-one doing consultations with people. You're very good at it. Very empathic, but know the direction you want to go in and then go for it.
Sounds good. Gosh, we got 2.5 minutes left. So,
Wow,
oh,
that's fast.
Goes so fast.
I know. I know.
yeah. We'll do this again sometime.
Yeah, it's
We will. Jeni, tell people how to find you again, please.
Well, it's good to follow me on Instagram, Jeni Cousins, because there's content there and so like that. There's a lot of content there. If you'd like to book a reading with me, soulworkwithjeni.com. And subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I do weekly cosmic vibes videos where I talk about energies every single day, what's coming up, how to utilize it. And I'm actually doing free readings on YouTube on the 31st this week. So if you subscribe to my channel, right, you're going to get those notifications coming in of when I'm going live, what content, what videos I have coming up, and so on. So that is your best bet. Like, I'm all over social media as it is, but Instagram is the best way, to follow me and to keep entwined with me, as I call it. So,
Yeah. And you're doing those, I think, not often, but you're doing some free readings on YouTube. So
yeah,
subscribe to the channel. Hey, it's
yeah, it's
free.
It's free, for gosh sakes, right? Just hit the little red button down there that
Yeah.
says subscribe.
That way you will know what she's doing and when she's doing it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Right. So that's the best, that's the best way, realistic. Like, if you Google my name, you'll find 1,000 different things, if not more. Right. So you'll find me, but to narrow it down, right?
Oh gosh.
Jeni, thank you so much. It's always so great to spend time with you. So great.
Oh, I just love you guys. We always have fun, right? Like, I love it. We always have fun.
Absolutely.
This is fun. All right, then we will. Oh, wait a minute. I'm going to take 20 seconds and ask you a question.
Yes.
And that is, if you could talk to the whole world, Jeni, and the world is listening, what would you tell them?
I say this all the time. It's very simple. It's really important to show unconditional love and kindness to others and yourself. You know, we are all going through things. You know, somebody might sit there and smile and put on a good, oh, hey, you know, but that person deep down can be struggling. Like I deal with suicides every day. I talk to all walks of life, you know, and there's people out there that truly don't have anybody to talk to, or they're too scared to talk to that person, you know, or talk to people. So give yourself some love. Look in the mirror. How many of you looked in the mirror and said, I love you? I appreciate you. Very
Yep.
important. And don't judge anybody. Like, don't judge anybody. You know, like somebody can put on this tough, you know, like look and everything or whatever like that. And they can be the most sensitive person on earth.
Yeah, that goes right along with something that I've started to adapt to lately, and that is that put all the 10 commandments out the window. There's no need
Yeah.
for them. There's only need for one, and that is love one another.
Yes. And, you know, like
Absolutely.
somebody's treating you with disrespect. You don't have to associate with that person. However, it's best to forgive that person so you can move on in your life in peace. You're not saying what you did to me was okay, because it is not. You are forgiving that person to walk in their own journey. We all have lessons to learn. However, I know my worth. I don't put up with that. I walk the opposite direction. However, I always wish that person the very, very best and
Yeah.
happiness and love and contentment and peace and so on. Very important, because if you hold on to anger, it's going to create problems and blockages within
Yep.
your body and go right to your bones.
It'll do it. Okay, thank you very much, Jenny.
Oh,
Thank you,
thank you.
Jenny.
Thank you.
Well, you take care.
You
Thanks,
too.
everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.